Hello everybody, this is Vita and today I'm going to read a story called Joseph and the Rainbow Robe by Fiona and Veitch Smith. Joseph was one of 12 brothers who lived with their dad and stepmothers on a farm in the land of Canaan. On the farm were sheep, goats and lots of cows. There were fat cows and skinny cows and somewhere in between cows, but Joseph loved them all. Now in those days men often had more than one wife. Joseph's dad Jacob had 4. Their names were Zilpah, Bilhah, Leah and Rachel, and each of them had sons. All the sons were different from each other. There was Reuben, who was the eldest and strongest. Then came Simeon and Levi, who loved fighting with swords. Judah was next in line, and although he wasn't the eldest, his brothers looked up to him as their leader. His nickname was Lion, and sometimes he would roar and chase his little brothers around the farm. Issachar had a funny laugh. His brothers would tease him, saying he sounded like a donkey. Dan was the one who broke up fights. When his brothers couldn't agree on things, he was the one who would decide for them. Gad was always getting into trouble. He was loud, a chatterbox, and boisterous, which made shy little Naphtali very nervous indeed. Zebulun enjoyed fishing, and Asher loved cooking. Asher would take Zebulun's fish and turn them into the most delicious dishes, which was just as well because Benjamin, the youngest, was always hungry. Then there was Joseph. Joseph's mother Rachel had died when he was young. Joseph's dad was very sad. Whenever he looked at his son, he was reminded of his darling Rachel. So he had a very special place in his heart for Joseph. One day, Joseph did a very silly thing. He told his brothers about a dream that he had in which they were all gathering wheat in a field. Joseph told them that in his dream, his sheaf of wheat rose up and stood in the middle of the field. Then the other 11 sheaves collected by his brothers all bowed down to his. Joseph's brothers were furious. "Who do you think you are? Do you think you're better than us?" Well, the wise answer would have been, "Of course not. We're all brothers and I'm no better than you." Joseph didn't say that though. Instead, he told them about another dream. In that dream, Joseph was floating in the middle of the night sky, and the sun, moon, and 11 stars all bowed down to him. This time, his dad was listening, and he too got cross, thinking Joseph believed he was better than them all. Then, one by one, the brothers turned their backs on Joseph and refused to speak to him. This made Joseph very sad. He sat down in a field of cows and cried. His dad Jacob found him there, looking very upset. He sat down beside his son and put his arm around him. "Joseph," he said, "you know I love you very much, but you need to learn to consider how other people feel." Then he gave him a present. It was a robe made out of different strips of colored cloth. "You see how all these colors are different, but each of them is part of the same robe." Joseph nodded. "Well, it's like a rainbow, which reminds us of how much God loves everyone in the world. No matter how different, he loves us all the same." Then Joseph looked up and saw that there was a rainbow in the sky. He also saw that the same sun shone down on him and all his brothers. He got up and put on the robe, then gave his dad a giant hug. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned as more stories are coming soon.